everyone, welcome to another episode of the Doctor and the Dork. I'm Olivia, here with your co-host, Frank.
How's it going, guys?
I had to do the intro because Frank was
struggling. I'm having a laughing fit right now. So far, I have accidentally snorted some food. I have choked on a peach. This has been quite the night. I'm struggling to talk today, guys.
And we're probably going to be pretty delirious. It's 9:30 and we're usually in bed by now, so...
Yeah, this is in fact bedtime, so if we start not making sense, just unfollow us.
Yeah, something like that. So, all right, you going to kick us off?
So, guys, we've decided instead of the week in review, we're going to start calling this the warm-up.
Yeah, so we can kind of get into our groove.
Yeah, so the week in review sounded too personal. As Olivia's mom pointed out, that was more of an informational bit for friends and family. You know, yeah. I think it was a good place to start the podcast when we were still getting our vibe.
Now, don't let him fool you. We're still going to do everything exactly the same.
Exactly.
We're just going to call it the warm-up. So don't get too excited. Maybe eventually we'll be able to switch off of that, but as for now, let's warm up, shall we?
I'm taking it away.
Yeah.
Okay. So this past weekend, guys, was Labor Day weekend. I hope everyone had a good weekend. We certainly did. We went up to the Adirondacks and stayed at an Airbnb in, Port Henry?
Port Henry. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so that wasn't too bad. I mean, it was a little weird as far as Airbnbs go, but, yeah, whatever. So we went up there with the truck and the trailer with the intent to ride the motorcycle around, and mission was accomplished.
Yeah, we had a pretty good weekend. We got up there Saturday?
Yeah.
Saturday we stopped at our typical Cracker Barrel on the way up. Cracker Barrel, if you're looking for a sponsorship, we'll take some free gift cards for that. Not a problem. Yeah. But yeah, we got up there. What did we do the first day we got up there?
We rode around. We went out for like 2.5 hours on the bike.
Oh yeah, and then we stopped at like this Westport Tavern hotel thing.
Oh yeah. We went to the Westport Tavern, which we found out later was apparently not viewed very highly.
It was pretty good though. I
thought it was fine. Yeah, I was surprised. The potato skins were good and the quesadilla was good.
Yeah, so
the price wasn't terrible.
So that was basically it for that night. And the next day, though, we woke up early and we went zoom to Lake Placid and White Hill, and boy, was it cold in the morning.
Yeah, that was, I knew it was going to be cold, but we threw our jacket liners on our motorcycle jackets, and it still didn't do anything for that 48-degree chill.
No, it's wild, because it's been like
damp.
80, 85 degrees every day in Connecticut, and we get up there and it's like 65 high every day.
Yeah. It was a damp cold, too.
Yeah.
And considering everywhere we went was the mountains.
Yeah, that probably didn't really help.
Yeah, it didn't really add anything. But I was pretty disappointed with Lake Placid there.
Yeah, so I think the little town of Lake Placid is so cute, and I was ready to do all this fun stuff. First thing, we get to the breakfast place at like 8 o'clock, and they opened at 7, so I'm thinking it's...
Oh, it was 7:30, I thought.
I don't know, one or the other. Anyway, so we get there pretty soon after they open, and the wait time's already like an hour and a half that we have to wait for, which was ludicrous to me. But I guess with coronavirus, they can seat less people in there.
Well, here's the thing. They said they were at 50% capacity, but there were people at every single table.
Say, yeah, it looks pretty full in there to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't loving it. And then it took forever to get our chocolate.
Yeah.
But I think that was more on just people being people. Yeah.
And then we tried to go to, oh gosh, I forget what that winery, Goose Watch Winery there. Because I was looking to buy a bottle of wine there and a bottle of wine at another place, but they had only allowed 6 people in at a time for tastings, which is fine, totally understand. However, they didn't have any sort of waiting list system. It was just kind of hover near the door and hope somebody's done tasting their wine in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, and we
waited
did
did not
for,
happen.
What, 20, almost 30 minutes?
Yeah.
And then we just gave up, and then go figure, the second we move, the line
But there was another couple ahead of us anyway, so we would have had to wait another probably half an hour.
It would have been a lot cooler if they just had a
call list. Hey, we'll text you when the next couple leaves. You guys are the 5th ones in line.
Yeah, it takes 30 minutes of tasting, planned for 2 hours.
Yeah, or even just make reservations for a tasting. At least then, I don't know, there'd be some
there was
sort of
none of that. And then Olivia took us on a goose chase. trying to hunt down some.
I said, no worries. I know another winery that's off this main strip. It's a sister winery to this one. It's called like Swedish Hill Winery. We got it. All right, so now we're zoom into the next winery. And like
zoom.
The map's telling me that we went past it, and I didn't see a sign, but I see like this building that I kind of remember it being in. So I'm like, hey, turn around. I think we passed it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I'm usually pretty alert about seeing some signs, especially on the bike. I'm usually looking around, which I suppose I shouldn't admit, but whatever. I'm usually very aware of my surroundings. And I didn't see anything. And then I was like, I definitely felt that we went too far. And we spin around, and I'm like, then I noticed there's a brewery. And I was like, oh, well, Olivia must have been taking me here. Of course
like
not.
I'm a liar.
It was an abandoned winery. No idea when they shut down.
Yeah.
But we could still see where the sign used to be.
Yeah, pretty sad about that. I don't know if they just moved, if they closed, what the deal is. They're no longer there.
Yeah.
So then we're like, all right, well, let's make the most of it. We're right next to this brewery. Let's just hit this brewery real quick.
Yeah, so we pull up, and it's... What time was it? Like...
2:30, 2:40.
Yeah.
They allegedly closed at 3.
Yeah, and so they wouldn't give us a table, so they gave us some Adirondack chairs. Pun intended. So they give us some Adirondack chairs, and they take forever to seat us. And then we sit down, they're like, oh, waitress will be over soon. Well, we see a couple waitresses come and go. And then someone shows up like 15 minutes after us, and they seat them at a table, and then they get served before us, and then we waited for a couple more minutes, and then we just got up and left. Like, no one ever came by. Like, I don't know if they thought we were just hanging out.
Well, then they gave us attitude before they even sat us. They were like, well, we close at 3, and Frankie's like, oh, we're just looking to have, like, a beer. Like, we won't stay that long. Meanwhile, these guys who come after us sit at a table, have full food menus, order full food. You're telling me we can't sit down? I was just highly unimpressed. Meanwhile, the whole place is packed when we get there. By the time we're seated, it's 2:45. People are just being served their food. I don't know. I was just like, if you're looking to make money, you're not doing a good job at it.
Yeah. Needless to say, the ADKs were great. We wrapped up with one last brewery that we finally were able to get a drink at. So we went all the way over there. It was Ledge Hill Brewing Company. Shout out to you guys. Fantastic environment. They are in Westport, New York. If you're ever up in that area, I highly recommend going, guys. They have a local farmer comes in serving fresh food. It was fantastic food, great price. The owner of the place, or what we thought was the owner, was outside with a record player. He had nothing but easy listening records on. It was just, the beer was good.
And if you're not into beer, they even had a list of mixed drinks you
Yeah,
could order.
they had mixed drinks. They had wine from local wineries. They had ciders. And their mixed drink was very good.
And free popcorn, as every bar and brewery should have.
So, but I cannot praise them enough. It was a relaxed setting. It was small and personal. It is a very, if you don't know it's there, you would definitely drive past it, because we did like twice. But yeah, shout out to Ledge Hill Brewing Company. Great time.
I agree. They were good.
So, other than that, I think you want to talk about Mount Whiteface there?
Yeah, so
what you thought of it?
Yeah, so I don't know, I told Frankie I don't think I've ever really been to the top of an actual mountain. So we didn't do any hiking, shockingly, in case anybody was curious about that. But we drove up White Hill. Whiteface, not White Hill.
White Hill.
Number one, I thought it was a little pricey to go up there. So it was like $15 a passenger to go up the hill, but Frankie's got them nice discounts, so we got up there a little cheaper. Which was probably a good deal if they had like all of this stuff open, but they have like a castle on top, and that was closed. They said that the hiking was closed, so really all you were doing was driving up, finding a parking lot, and taking in the views, which, like, not to be taken lightly, because the views were very nice, but I could understand why some people might not be.
Well, 6 people in an SUV, and they were charging like $50 to drive up a hill.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Well, a mountain, but
it was good. It was really cold.
Yeah, on the motorcycle, that was cold. It
was brisk. But yeah, no, it had really good views. Could see a lot from the top there.
That was, scenic. We'll post those pictures to the Instagram.
Yep.
Next, guys, I guess being up in the Adirondacks all weekend really made me take a look and made me realize, I already realized it, but I appreciate the environment. I enjoy getting out on a hike. I enjoy the motorcycle and actually getting out there and really just kind of getting off the beaten path. It's nice to get away from civilization and get out into the woods. It's very calming. But lately, if you haven't noticed, basically the whole country is on fire.
The whole country, the whole world.
I mean, Brazil apparently is having the worst fire season ever. California is. They've burned 2 million acres so far, which, in case you didn't know, the Connecticut is 3.5 million acres, and Rhode Island is roughly 750,000 acres. So 2.5 Rhode Islands, or a little over half of Connecticut, is currently charred to nothingness in California. And that's not including all of the other fires that are currently ongoing in Oregon, Washington.
Yeah, if you live in Portland, Oregon, why? Like the year that this has given you, it's time to move.
Yeah, the riots / protests, the fires, no. So yeah, guys, just keep an eye out there. If you go for a walk, I don't know, bring a trash bag, pick up some garbage or something. I know it don't seem like a lot, but if everyone pitches in, I'm just saying.
How are you connecting that to the fire? That wasn't a very seamless transition.
Look, I'm not trying to be seamless.
I know where you're trying to go, but the listeners might not.
I'm just trying to say
I'm going to say
the world's actually ending.
Based on what you said, my trash is just going to catch on fire anyway, so why not just leave it there?
Oh my god, that's not good either. No burning plastic. But yeah, also, NASA has some actually crazy photos of the fires too, so if you guys get a chance to check those out.
If you're less interested in NASA and more interested in Snapchat, you can also zoom out in the maps and see the real life pictures that people are taking of the smoke and such in surrounding areas. So I don't know, I like Snapchat for that purpose because I know it's really happening.
I never knew that was a feature.
Yeah.
I also didn't realize that a bunch of these fires were started from gender reveals.
Yeah, I just heard that on the radio today. I thought it was just one, but then you informed me it was
I read of a second one that happened, and then it really, I swear the world is actually ending. So up in Siberia, guys, here's another one off topic. Well, sort of on topic, environment related.
Okay.
They're having, the permafrost up in the Arctic Circle in Siberia is defrosting at such a fast rate that the methane trapped under the ground is exploding, creating ice volcanoes that are immensely deep and seriously like the foundation of a house. So very large holes in the ground. And they're just popping up all over the place for no rhyme or reason. And it's just the permafrost is melting.
Yeah.
This is areas of the world that permafrost never defrosts.
Hence perma.
Yeah, it's a permanent layer of frost, and it's melted. So
yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
Yeah, so I don't know what to make of that. Scientists, people, tell us. I don't know.
Well. What else you got? Anything else about the environment? Did you hit all your talking points?
Well, I had one other one that's like a little tidbit that I was going to wrap into my plastic thing. But so apparently prepackaged plastic foods, guys, has now officially overtaken cigarette butts as the most numerous form of garbage on the beach.
Let me ask you, do you think that's because people are eating more prepackaged foods or because they're smoking less? Everybody's walking around with their Juuls nowadays.
I'm willing to bet there's less smokers, and as the world uses more and more plastic, there's more of it in the ocean that washes up on the beach.
Do you think by the end of 2020 there will be more mass than cigarette butts or packaged food items on the beach?
Definitely packaged food.
Have you seen the pictures where animals are getting all twisted up in people's masks? They're asking that you cut the little earpieces before you throw them away.
I have not actually seen that. That's a thing.
That's a new
What are
thing.
we killing turtles with masks now?
Yeah.
I thought it was the 6-pack Coke cans that was doing them in.
It was. You're supposed to cut them too. Something we don't have on our list, but I do want to talk about real quick is the future of the Doctor and the Dork. I think we got an inquiry by a close family of the show asking when we're going to do the video segment of our show.
Ah, yes.
And the answer is we don't know. We're getting used to this microphone situation, but I'm going to ballpark sometime in October we'll probably release at least one episode.
So I'm thinking right around episode 20 to 25, somewhere in that ballpark. Because right now this was 14, so I got to figure, So we'll get this microphone thing really figured out, guys. And I think we're going to start uploading video content to YouTube, which means I guess we have to start appearing
much better than we do right now.
Better than post-workout dinner attire.
Yeah.
So,
also, if you're a listener of the show who really wants to be a guest, we're probably going to try to keep having some guests on. So write us an email at doctorandork@gmail.com.
Yeah, friends, family, if you guys are interested in hopping on the podcast, we would love to have you on. We would love to have someone for episode 15, but if it doesn't happen, we're not going to be heartbroken. We're going to be a bit more adamant that it happens for sure at episode 20. But we'll see where that goes. But all right, Olivia, take us away into the doctor segment. We have rambled enough this week.
All right, let me take us away. So one quick thing I just wanted to note, we got a new vaccine date entry into our competition for one chocolate chip cookie, and that is Tyler. He guessed on December 25th, 2020, the vaccine will be approved. I've been hearing some wild things that some people are guessing by the end of October. I don't know, Tyler informed me, and I actually had to look it up, that all the FDA was requiring is 50% efficacy of the vaccine. What? And that was Tyler's reason for an earlier vaccine date.
Well, that sounds like we're pulling a Russia.
And apparently they decided that back in June, I believe the article said. And the logic there was, or at least my understanding of the logic, was that the flu vaccine is usually only 40 to 60% effective each year. So they were kind of setting the bar around there. But I don't get those, like, I don't know, when we had the polio vaccine, I don't think they were like, it was like 50-50 shot. Yeah, we'll count that as a go.
50-50.
But, maybe they did. I don't know. And then I was kind of looking into if there were any vaccines out there that were in phase 3, and then I figured I'd just do a little quick pharmacy thing and talk about the different phases of research.
Ooh, I'd be interested in hearing that.
So there's 3 phases of research. Well, there's 4. It depends how you want to categorize it. Well, first you got your preclinical research. So this is like you got your mice in the lab and you're like, is it going to kill the animals? Because if so, it probably isn't going to fly if I give it to the humans. So that's kind of your first gig. Then you move into phase 1 trials. In phase 1 trials, you're getting the humans. You usually got less than like 100 or so patients. And you're just making sure, like, is this drug going to be safe? These humans that you're testing on may or may not even have the disease that you're trying to work with. You just want to make sure it isn't going to kill them or have some weird adverse effect you didn't expect.
Okay.
So then once you got that, then you move into phase 2. And phase 2 and 3 are kind of like where I would say the real meaningful research occurs. So these are getting into more of the hundreds, and then once you're in phase 3, the thousands of patients. And now you're really honing in on, is it safe, is it effective, and what kind of dosage range do we want to look at? So those phase 3 trials are really when you're like, all right, we've got the magic formula, we're comparing it to whatever is available, if there is something else available, and we're going to see if it works. So I was kind of seeing like how many vaccines were actually in that point. Moderna has been like a pharmaceutical company, I'm not gonna lie, I've never heard of, but they were really leading the race for a while. It looks like Pfizer's also got one in the works. I read that AstraZeneca pulled out their vaccine research. I guess they're focusing their energy on some other research instead now, which is interesting because they're a pretty big company.
I bet they probably like murdered something by accident. They found out the whole lab rat thing. They killed all the rats and were like, okay, we probably should just move on.
Yeah, so I'm sure there's a bunch of other companies that are also in phase 3, but those were just kind of the first few I saw. And then phase 4 trials are basically like once your drug is approved by the FDA, then they do like some monitoring to see like how does it work in the real world. That's where like most of my research takes place, is kind of the real world efficacy. That's basically it. The only other thing I thought I'd touch on, because I didn't have much for it today, is allergy medications. Thanks to Matt, I figured it'd be a nice talking, nice talking point.
Matt with the gin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But it is allergy season, and I think it's slowly starting to wind down. But I know for me personally, it's been a really rough allergy season. Even darling Frankie's been sneezing a lot over here.
Yeah, and I'm normally bulletproof to allergies, and I've been awfully sneezy this year.
So, you got
COVID.
your diphenhydramine with the brand name Benadryl. I think
The
that's
what?
what people mostly think of when they think of allergy medicine right off the get-go. But that's the one that's going to make you real tired and sleepy. It's also, if you look at any sleeping aid medications that are over the counter,
Benadryl.
it's the same exact drug in it. So you could get either one and they're going to do the same thing. So I'd go for something more like your cetirizine, your brand name Zyrtec, brand name Claritin or Allegra. Those are going to be your less sleepy formulations. Interestingly, though, if you have really bad nasal congestion, what they recommend more than any of those oral pills are an intranasal corticosteroids. That'd be like your Flonase, anything that ends with "own."
So they don't recommend like crushing up a Zyrtec and snorting it?
No, though, I did hear of a case study that took place a couple weeks ago.
So what you're saying is you shouldn't have 3.5 Zyrtecs crushed up your nose?
I'm gonna say no, probably not.
I was just a little curious if you should be doing that or not.
Yeah, asking for a friend, maybe.
Yeah, asking for a friend. Yes, very curious about that.
But yeah, just pointing. They also have intranasal, actual antihistamines, but there's actually less evidence for those. But so either get your oral antihistamine or get an intranasal corticosteroid if you're still suffering with allergies this season. That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right. Well, guys, I also have a short segment. We talked your ear off earlier, but we're also tired, so that's my excuse for rambling. But guys, so Microsoft has they got data mined, or they leaked. Somebody hacked their stuff and information got leaked. Apparently, there's an Xbox Series X that was hacked out of their system. So that somebody stole the info and released it, and Microsoft turned around and immediately they wasted no time confirming, yeah, it's a thing. So there's an Xbox Series S being rolled out. It is the smallest Xbox they've ever made, and then they went ahead and just confirmed the price too, and it's going to be $299.
Bargain.
We know nothing about it, what it'll do, what its capabilities are. We know nothing. We have a name and a price. We don't even have the price yet of the Xbox Series X or the PS5. They started off at like $499 to $599 were the rumors, and at this point people are just coming up with rumors. So I would say best guess something close to where your last series was, which is right around the $500-$600 range, guys.
Do you think everybody's been mishearing it and really they've been saying Xbox S this whole time and not X?
No, because they've confirmed that there's two of them for sure.
All right.
But that's enough of my gaming. I really don't have anything else on that. My other thing is apparently AT&T done dropped the ball royally. So if you guys have AT&T, you notice that your phone now says 5G, though I'm not paying for 5G. I was like, this is news to me. When did 5G go live? Well, it's been slowly being implemented, but it turns out I guess the speeds of their 5G, excuse me, I'm burping. Sorry, guys. I guess the speeds of 5G for AT&T are currently slower than their 4G speeds.
Now, how does that make sense?
I have no idea. I read the article. It made no sense to me. But apparently, they're also calling their 4G network 5G. As very misleading information. You can look it up, guys. You should look into this.
Sounds like false news to me. You know what? I don't really understand any part of this. I just accept whatever speeds are given to me.
Well, 4G is a different bandwidth. I don't want to say bandwidth.
Is the G like the same thing as like Gigablast?
No.
Oh.
No, that's different.
Oh.
So 4G is a wavelength that can travel much further. The only thing is it's not as fast as 5G. It's a frequency. So 5G is a much, I don't want to say higher frequency because I don't fully understand it. I just know it's a different type of frequency.
Let me ask you a different question.
That doesn't go as far, but it's much faster.
What does the LTE stand for?
Honestly,
Like, I have 4G LTE. Is that better than just
4G.
Period?
You know what? Yeah, that is a good question, and we'll come back next week with that because I actually don't know.
Me neither.
But yeah, so guys, AT&T is apparently jipping us off, saying their 4G is actually 5G, and their real 5G in most cities is slower than their 4G network.
Just only AT&T so far that's been
Apparently,
added?
there's some independent company that did a test of major cities, and AT&T was the only one who didn't put up match what they were claiming. Yeah, Verizon A1,
Nice.
and they did one other company. I forgot who it was.
Gotcha.
Right. Last one is I'm back on this whole Neuralink thing with Elon Musk and his other company, Neuralink. He has SpaceX. He's got Tesla. He has the Boring Company. He's digging tunnels underneath every major city in the Midwest and West Coast. So
is this company open to the public yet for shares and trading?
I don't think so.
Because I'm about to drain my whole Robinhood and just invest in that because it can't get worse.
No, I think he privately owns it right now. Like SpaceX is like his that's out of his piggy bank.
Gotcha.
So much like Neuralink. So they apparently have had successful trials with this with pigs.
How do they know that? Tell me about these trials.
So apparently they're just trying to be able to read the pigs on like hunger, emotion, like what they're doing, what they're thinking about. And apparently their base trials were good enough that they're moving into human trials. Like actual futuristic human trials. They're going to start putting literal hardware in people's heads. So
do you think you'd like that?
Honestly, I'm mulling it over, and I want to journal about it in my own time. But it freaks me out on one hand. I'm like, I see this going horribly wrong.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you're very against, in some ways, AI. So this seems very against your...
I'm very against it.
Having a moral conundrum because you got to advance technology.
Yeah, at the same time, this seems like a great leap into the future. I can't help but think that a lot of... Well, this is me being super optimistic, but I feel as though if it's a tool to help people understand each other, it would definitely be a much needed tool in today's day and age. And I feel like if you could understand someone better or become more productive or just...
So if I could be able to read your mind. Can I hook you up to a computer?
This is where he's going with it. We'll be able to interface with each other. If you guys ever watch the TV show The Feed, that it's, I guess, similar to what he's going for here. But yeah, so and then the other thing that this is another, he's just rambling, much like myself. But Elon Musk was talking that he would like a robot to be able to do the surgery for you, same day surgery, and you walk out with a neural link in your head. Which sounds like they got a lot of ground to cover before that.
Yeah, I'm hearing all this now, and in my mind, I'm like, there's no way. Like, maybe in 100 years.
No, I give him 10 years.
But at the same time, I'm sure a lot of people thought that about a lot of the technology we have today, so I try to be understanding of that.
Guys, think back, if you were alive, 1990. If you think they can't put a chip in someone's head, remember 1990 when you didn't have cell phones, computers, and the internet.
Yeah.
All right? Think of the 80s.
Yeah.
Here we are, 35 years later.
But your phone, at first it read your fingerprint, which wasn't too wild, all things considered, but now it reads your face, so like...
I'm just saying, in 35 years, we have gone from you had to carry a brick for a cell phone in your pocket to we have sort of self-driving cars that seem to keep killing people.
What do you think the craziest piece of technology is that we have right now?
Honestly, I think it's going to be supercomputers and some of the stuff that NASA's doing with them where they're really mapping out the stars. That's some really high-end tech that really isn't talked about just because it's used for such an obscure thing. But NASA's really got some crazy computers.
That makes sense.
And I can only imagine what Elon Musk has rummaging around in his basement. Same with like Bill Gates. Those guys must have some crazy tech floating around that no one knows about.
If you want to give us a sponsor, because we mention you every episode, feel free.
I love the guy. He's crazy smart. All right, guys. We're done ranting for the week. We're tired. We're sorry if we weren't so upbeat this week.
Yeah, we're definitely a little lackluster.
It's like 10 p.m. But
we'll get you next time.
Next week for sure. Maybe we'll have a guest because it'll be unplanned. But until then, everybody stay safe out there.
Check out our Insta, write us an email, drop us a comment, a review, you know.
The use.
All right. Later, everyone.
Bye.